Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kiana and I do a lot of sewing and fashion videos, and today we have a sewing tutorial and pattern for this romantic Godet dress. Please do not skip through this intro. I have some important disclaimers. Do not skip through this intro. So first off, the pattern is linked as the first link down below, and you guys know I love to reward my subscribers who are subscribed with their notification bells turned on, so you guys can use the code Godet dress to get 30% off this pattern until tomorrow at midnight Eastern time. Now, this dress we have ranked as advanced. There are 16 different mix and match options for this dress, so you can combine both of the sleeves, like in this dress. You could do sleeveless, you could do one or the other for the sleeves. For the skirt, we have a maxi length and we have a mini length, and if you don't like the Godets, you want to do something more simpler, you could use the lining skirt, which is just a simple A-line skirt for the shell as well. So with all of those options, that's actually 16 different options. However, big disclaimer, the white dress with all of the bias tape top stitched all over it, that is kind of a pattern hack of this pattern. It also takes this pattern from being more advanced to expert, okay, because it was not easy to do. So most of this tutorial is just showing you how to sew this dress and all of the different options. If you skip to the end of this video, I will talk to you more about how I did all of the bias tape. Some of the bias tape is really used to finish the hems, but to do that, you kind of have to hack the pattern a little bit. So we will talk about that at the very end of this video. So if you're interested in doing the bias tape style, which again, not really technically a part of the pattern, but I know you guys really like the bias tape, so I wanted to put a bunch of tips in this video and in the instructions for you. Skip to the end of the video. There are labels on this YouTube video, so just skip right over there. Now, all of the supplies and materials you need for this project are going to be in that first link down below in the pattern listing description. And if you're interested in all of the equipment I use, like my sewing machine, I'm gonna have that all in the video description. All right, so without further ado, let's just get into the tutorial. So start out by printing your pattern at 100% scale. Make sure to line up your pieces of paper edge to edge without trimming down or overlapping your sheets of paper, and then use the diamonds to help line everything up. Tape it together and then refer to the instruction pamphlet to figure out what size you want to create, and then cut on that corresponding line. For the first step, we are going to mark and sew the darts for the shell dress. So mark your darts on the wrong side of the fabric and then pin together and sew up the dart legs. Give it a good press and then repeat this step for the lining. Then we are going to place the front and back shell bodices right sides together and pin and sew along the shoulder seams and the side seams. Press these seams open and then repeat for the lining. For the waist pieces, place the front and back waist pieces right sides together and pin and sew along the side seams. Press the seam open and then repeat for the lining. Now we're going to connect the bodice to the waist pieces, and we're going to do this one side at a time. So line up your bodice to your waist at the underbust seam right sides together. Make sure you line up the side seams and pin it into place. Then you're going to sew and press the seam upwards. Now we're going to repeat the exact same thing on the other side. You must do one side at a time, so make sure you've pressed the first side first. Moving on to the other side, again, going to pin the bodice to the waist piece right side together, and this time at that center front point, the bodice pieces are going to overlap a little bit. This is okay, so just sew and press the seam upwards, and then repeat these steps for the lining. Moving on to the shell skirt. So for your front pieces, take them out and lay them flat. Make sure you stay super organized because all of these pieces look very similar. But for the front, take your side front pieces, place them right sides together along the princess seams with the center front piece, and sew from the waistline down to that notch that you have on those pattern pieces. We're gonna leave everything under the notch unsewn so that we can insert the godets. So we're gonna sew the seam above the notch and then press open. We're going to repeat this exact same process for the back. So take your side back pieces, place them right sides together with the center back pieces along the princess seam, and sew between the waistline and the notches and press that seam open. Then we'll take the front skirt and the back skirt, place them right sides together and pin, sew, and press along those side seams above the notches. And now it's time to insert all of those godets. So to start, at the very top point of the godet, mark that with a dot. We're gonna line that dot up with the bottom of the seam that we just sewed and pressed open on the skirt panels, and use a pin to secure it into place. Then pivot your panel in godet so that one side is aligned, and pin all the way down that panel and the godet. Then starting at the top dot, begin sewing but do not backstitch. stitch. Sew all the way down to the hem, and then you can do your normal back stitch. Now repeat this process for the other side of the godet, and then at the top of the godet, you can secure those threads by tying them by hand in a knot. Now a little note about the godets. Because the godet is a triangular shape, the two sides of the godet are cut on the bias, which means it will have a tendency to stretch out over time. I recommend after cutting out your godets that you leave them to stretch hanging overnight or at least for a few hours, because every fabric is different and it's gonna stretch at different rates. So you might notice that when you go to pin your godet along your skirt panel, that the godet is longer than the skirt panel. That's okay. Don't try to fit the godet into the skirt panel. Let it be longer and then cut off the excess at the end when you hem the dress. Now to finish the godet, pull away the godet top point from the rest of the dress, and I'm gonna serge right across it. Then to finish the rest of the seam, starting from the waistline, you're gonna serge down one side of the seam allowance, serge all the way down that side, reach the godet, continue serging down with the skirt panel seam allowance, and continue down to the hem. And then do that on the other side of the seam allowance, and then just repeat that whole process for all of your godets. You're going to insert 6 godets, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and 2 at the side seams. Now that you have your skirt shell, take your bodice shell, place it right sides together with the skirt along the waistline, and pin, sew, and press this seam. Now we're gonna get ready to insert the invisible zipper. So to prep, serge the center back edges of your dress independently from each other, and then take your invisible zipper and insert it from the top of the neckline down to your zipper notch. Then just close up the rest of your center back seam by sewing from where you stopped at the bottom of the zipper down to the hem, and then press the seam open. Now moving on to the skirt lining, we're gonna take the front and back skirt pieces, place them right sides together, and pin along the side seams. Then you're going to sew, serge, and press those seams to the side. Then grab your lining bodice, place it right sides together with the skirt, and pin, sew, and press this seam. Now just serge the center back edges of your lining dress independently from each other. Now you are ready to connect your lining to your shell. So unzip your zipper for the shell and place your lining and your shell right sides together and pin along the entirety of the neckline and the center back edges. So remember, your zipper is unzipped. You're gonna pin the shell and the lining with the zipper sandwiched in between along the center back edges, and you're gonna go all the way around the back neckline, up the straps, the front neckline, and then back down the other way, and we are going to sew this. We're gonna sew along those center back edges with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and we're gonna sew around the entire neckline with 1/2 inch seam allowance. Pay special attention when you're sewing at that center front point. Make sure you're using 1/2 inch seam allowance. You wanna make sure that you're sewing right on top of those previous seams so that they're not visible on the right side of the dress. After you do that, you can clip your corners and clip into your curves. You also wanna clip into that center front point. You want to remove a lot of that seam allowance so that it can lay flat. And then just close up the rest of that center back seam on the lining below the zipper by just sewing it right sides together. Now we're going to understitch the neckline. So to understitch, have the shell of the dress on the left, the lining of the dress on the right, and the seam allowance underneath pointed towards the right. We are going to sew through the lining, catching the seam allowance underneath about 1/16 of an inch to 1/8 of an inch away from that neckline seam. This is going to help prevent the lining just from rolling out while you're wearing the garment. Keep everything looking nice and clean. You're not going to be able to understitch right close to the center back or the center front because they come to a point, but just get as close as you can. Now we're going to move on to the sleeves. So there are multiple sleeve options for this dress. You could go sleeveless. You could combine both the long and short sleeve, which we've done with the black dress, or do one or the other. It is very mix and match friendly. So starting out, I'm going to show you how to sew the long sleeve. You have a line on your pattern that shows you where to mark to sew the elastic. So mark this line with either tailor's chalk or tracing paper and sew a basting stitch right on top of this line, and do not backstitch at either the beginning or end of this stitch line. Then gently pull on your bobbin thread to gather the sleeve to be about half of the width that it used to be. Then grab your cut elastic piece, and you're going to sew this right on top of the basting stitch on the wrong side of your sleeve. On my Georgette, we don't have a wrong side, so whichever side would work for me, but you're going to have to stretch the elastic as you sew it right on top of that basting stitch. This way the elastic will still stretch and stay up on your arm. Now we're ready to sew the inseam. Normally for a sheer fabric, I would sew a French seam for the inseam, so you do have the option to do that. However, because of the elastic, I'm just gonna sew a regular plain seam for the inseam and then serge and press this seam. Your last step for this long sleeve is to sew 2 basting stitches within the front and back notch of the sleeve cap within the seam allowance so that you can gently gather the bobbin threads very slightly, ever so slightly, just to help ease in the sleeve into the dress. Once you sew the sleeve in, you should not see those gathers. To prep the flounce sleeve, we are also going to sew the inseam. You can sew a plain seam and serge it, or you could sew a French seam. Then sew 2 rows of basting stitches within the marks on your pattern piece. Sew within the seam allowance and do not backstitch at the beginning or end of your stitch lines. Then begin pulling on the bobbin threads to really gather that sleeve. This one should be quite gathered. To do the double sleeve, place the short flounce sleeve right over top of the long sleeve. Both sleeves should be right side out. Match them up along the arm's eye, and I would pin them together at this point just to keep them from moving around, keep them together. And we're going to place the arm's eye of these sleeves right sides together with the arm's eye of the dress. The dress should be inside out so that you're placing the sleeves right side to the right side of the dress. Then pin along the arm's eye and then sew and serge that seam. And the last option we have is to do a sleeveless dress. So here's how you do that. So first, baste together the lining and the shell along the arm's eye of the dress. To baste, just sew with a long stitch on your sewing machine in the seam allowance. Then grab some double fold 1/4 inch bias tape, fold in the short edge once, about 1/2 inch, and place it right sides together with the side seam of your dress. Other than that small fold, your bias tape should be fully unfolded. The long edge of your bias tape should be lined up with the raw edge of your arm's eye. Sew all the way around until you get back to the side seam, and then continue sewing 1/2 inch more to overlap your bias tape. Trim off the excess bias tape, refold the bias tape back into its original position, give it a press, and then you're gonna fold the bias tape under towards the inside of the garment one more time to make it invisible from the outside. Give it a good press again, and then you're gonna top stitch along the unsewn edge of the bias tape to secure it in place. Lastly, it's time for the hem. So we're gonna do a rolled hem for the shell of the dress and also both types of sleeves. To do a rolled hem, fold your fabric under 3/4 of an inch and give it a press. And then you're gonna sew super close to that folded edge. Then take your scissors and trim down really close to that stitch line, as close as you can get it. Then bring it back to your iron and fold this hem under one more time, a little baby hem. And then you're gonna go back and top stitch it to secure it. If you have contrasting godets to the skirt panels, I would recommend that you switch out your thread color to match. That's what we did here. It is a little tedious, but the result is worth it. For the lining, luckily it's a little bit easier. You're just going to fold under the lining 1/2 inch twice, give it a press, and then top stitch it down. And then you are done. All right, so for the bias tape dress, how did I hack this pattern? I should also mention we used a special type of bias tape that has a lot more drape to it. I had never really encountered a bias tape like this before, but I will link the one that we used down below. So for some of the bias tape, such as the bias tape along the underbust seam, along the skirt panels, that bias tape is simply just placed right on top of the seam, right in the center of the seam, and top stitched on either side of the bias tape to secure it. And the bias tape along the godet sections are actually fully on the crepe fabric and not on the chiffon at all. If the bias tape gets on the chiffon, you kind of have some tension issues, so that's why we put it fully on the crepe. I will say it does get a little bit challenging to make sure your bias tape is fully on the crepe without exposing too much of that seam. You want to keep it really close to the seam and really straight. For the bias tape tied around the wrist, it's simply tacked right at the inseam and then tied around the wrist. Now lastly, here is where it gets a little bit trickier. The bias tape around both of the sleeves that finishes the hems are done pretty similar to like how a normal bias tape would be sewn. So you press under the edge of the bias tape 1/2 inch, line up the bias tape with the raw edge of the sleeve hem, but this time on the wrong side of the sleeve. So the right side of the bias tape to the wrong side of the sleeve. So in that first crease around the bias tape until you get back to the beginning, overlap the bias tape by 1/2 inch, and then trim off your excess bias tape. Then you refold the bias tape back to how it originally was, give it a press, and then from the right side of the bias tape, stitch about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. If you stitch really close to the edge, you're going to see the stitch line on the wrong side, and with the full sleeve, that will be very apparent, and that's just not what you want. Because you're also using bias tape, you need to trim the sleeve hems by a whole inch because you're not using the hem allowance. And lastly, the neckline. This is where it gets really challenging. Again, because we're not going to use the seam allowance for the neckline as well, just like the sleeves, you have to trim off 1/2 inch of seam allowance around the neckline because the bias tape's just going to finish the neckline and not use any of that seam allowance. So you have to trim 1/2 inch off. So you're gonna sew the bias tape on basically the exact same way that you did for the sleeves. Same process of placing the right side of the bias tape to the wrong side of the dress. But when you get to the neckline point, you're gonna stretch open that dress to be straight across. So you're not gonna sew the bias tape like a V. You're gonna stretch open the V to be a flat line and continue sewing the bias tape like that. When you fold it back to itself, you're gonna stretch out the neckline again and sew it flat. Once you re-sew everything, you're gonna place the dress right sides together and you're gonna sew a little wedge right down the center of the dress, and that will make it go back into a point. This is not easiest thing in the world. We had to do a bunch of tests to make sure it worked. It can be done, obviously, but like I said, again, adding the bias tape, that is a pattern hack, and it does bring the dress to more of an expert level. All right, so I hope that helped you guys a little bit, and I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to create this dress. Let me know how you guys are going to make it. We were all talking about how the white dress kind of looked like a wedding dress, so I would love to know what you guys are going to make your dresses for, what events. And be sure, if you post a picture on Instagram, to tag me because you might be featured in Maker Monday. And don't forget that the pattern is the first link down below, and you can use the code GODETDRESS to get 30% off this pattern until tomorrow at midnight Eastern time. But yes, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up because it's the easiest way to support your favorite creators for free. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. My handle is Kiana Bonollo. Subscribe, turn on that notification bell so that you don't miss out on pattern discounts in the future. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!